This is End Screen Noise. My name is Colin Dixon, founder and chief analyst at End Screen Media, and today is June 21st, 2019. This week I have 3 feel-good stories from the world of OTT video for you. And first up is Adam Sandler. Well, back in 2014, Netflix did a 4-picture deal with Adam Sandler, and frankly, the critics were confused because his last few movies at the box office had bombed. They'd really done badly, so they couldn't understand why Netflix was so interested. And guess what? The critics absolutely hated the first 2 offerings that he provided to Netflix. First was the ridiculous 6. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 0% rating, which basically means all 33 critics that it tracks hated the movie. And they didn't think much more of the second one, The Do-Over, which it rated at 5%. But after those first 2 movies, with 2 to go, Netflix extended their deal with Mr. Sandler, 2 more movies for a total of 6. And another movie has just been released. It's called Murder Mystery with Jennifer Aniston. And not surprisingly, the critics hate that too. But Netflix gave some results from viewing and it did great. The company says 31 million households viewed that movie in the first weekend of the release. That's 13.4 million in North America and 17.45 million in the rest of the world. And Netflix says it was the biggest opening for a movie on the service ever. So that's 1 in the eye for the critics. And I guess Netflix users, they just love Adam Sandler. Our next feel-good story is all about Crackle. Sony has really been struggling of late and has been doing a lot to try and right the corporate ship and get the company growing again and on course. And it has been jettisoning unprofitable businesses, like, for example, it got rid of the PC business. It is backing away from the mobile phone smartphone business, the handset business. But somehow it could not turn its back on Crackle, even though the business was losing money. So what it did was it actually started to look around for options. And now, of course, it had lots of very lowball offers for Crackle, but the offer it ended up taking was from Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment. The CEO of that company, Bill Rohan, came in with a deal that was just, I guess, irresistible to Sony. Sony loves the service, so Mr. Rohan gave them an opportunity to stay invested. He said he would take 51% of the business and leave them with 49%. And what he asked in return from Sony was that Sony continued to make Sony pictures available to him at a reasonable rate. And also to provide time in studio so that if he needed to do recording for new shows, that he could do that as well. So he takes full control of the service, but Sony gets to be on the grandstands and see it grow. And this is probably a smart move for Sony because free ad-supported TV, the FAST services, are growing very, very fast right now. Pluto TV has 16 million actives. Sumo TV has 5.5 million actives. And what this does for Chicken Soup for the Soul is it gets them to 10 million actives. The company already had 3 million with Popcorn Flicks, and apparently Crackle adds 7 more million actives to that number. So Mr. Rohan has renamed the service Crackle Plus and is busy realigning it, but he has now a much bigger footprint which he can offer to advertisers. So this is good news for Crackle because it's landed in a place where somebody will take care and help it grow. It's good news for Sony because they still stay invested in the business but don't have to control and don't have to put up with all of those as bigger losses anymore. And so it's also good news for us, the viewer, because Crackle is still around. Our final good news story is, well, it's kudos to Comcast. I don't get to say that very often, and I'm really pleased to do it now because they've come up with something that they call the iGuide. This is a web-based remote for tablets and PC computers that lets people with disabilities watch and control the television experience with their eyes. Now, it works with existing eye gaze systems, which actually track eye movements, and it allows people with severe disabilities to change the channel, to set recordings, and to browse the guide and search and find things to watch. Now, this doesn't sound like much, but for people with severe disabilities, they simply couldn't change the channel, something as basic as changing the channel. So this is a really important product for them from Comcast, and the best news of all is that it is free. So they're not charging anything for this. You can, I guess, just download this to the tablet or PC of your choice and begin using it. And really, Comcast has thrown down the gauntlet. It's time for Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV to pick that up and do something similar for those people existing purely in online with their products. So kudos to Comcast, and let's hope that many, many other companies follow suit. This has been Colin Dixon with End Screen Noise, and I'm hoping I can bring you more feel-good stories in the future. We'll see you again next time.